So the way this seminar is going to work is we're going to do about maybe 2 to 3 techniques for each belt level, so that when you leave here, you're instantly going to get results in terms of addressing the issues that you have, progressing, and hopefully retaining that information. So if you can leave the seminar with just one technique, success, right? Even for myself. So at this point in time, let's go ahead and bow in. All right, let's go for a jog, and then we'll get the seminar started. So what I want to do next is I'm going to step to my left side with my rear leg. I'm going to pick up my elbow and pull him to get him to circle, right? If I stand in front of him and I just try to swing him, he's not going to budge. So even without this hand, watch what I'm doing. So push, 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 push. I step to the outside, and I moved it. And all I did is I picked up my elbow, I stepped to the left side, and I caused him to circle. Now the reason why we're doing these movement drills is so that I move my partner around. Versus if we're just stuck here all the time, and we're constantly just trying to shoot, it's a lot easier to take a person down when he's moving, right? So that's the purpose of these drills. So again, from here, we push into each other. Left leg steps out first towards him. I pull the arm, and I push, here. All right, so he pushes into me, and he'll do the same thing now. I'll push into him, just pull, and push. So step with your left leg out. Yeah, push, there you go. That's what we're looking for. He pushes, right, push, 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 push. Here. I push to him. Pull. Good. So back and forth. All the way down and all the way up.
Stagger.
Yeah. Are you? So if me and Steph are constantly pushing with each other, right? It's kind of hard to get the takedown, because if I drive forward, she simply stiff arms me, right? And I can't have access to her leg. But if I simply step back and use my body to pull it, right? It's already there. 1, ankle pick. 2, she pushes through me. We're strong, right? I can't get anything. Step and circle. I have a foot sweep, right? Or if we're, again, pushing and shoving, I can't move her, right? I'll step to the side. Here, I'll circle. I have a foot sweep, right? So all these options are here because I moved her around to create the openings. It's the same thing if we tie up here and I just randomly drop and try to shoot for a double leg, she will essentially just sprawl. But if I get her to circle, ankle's there, circle again, double leg is there, right? Circle again, IC is there. The entries are all there. The only difference is I moved her around. Yeah? All right, so now let's go ahead and come out on the mat. We'll circle up. The number one problem you're having in jiu-jitsu, what are you having problems with?
Doing the scissor sweep, and now I know how to do it.
Okay. Can you show me? Yeah?
Problem
Come on
solved.
over. Let's see your scissor sweep, bud. I mean, there's a slight weight difference, but we're gonna make this work. Ready? Go ahead. 1, 2. Good. More. A little more. Good. All right. So that was pretty good. So let's help you clean this up so it's even more powerful. Right? So come on over. So the scissor sweep, like most basic techniques, is a technique that works really well when it's executed properly with good technique, good timing. So let me give you a quick black belt tip. Advanced techniques, right? Advanced fancy techniques that you see are really basics that are done properly with the correct timing and with the correct momentum. That's all it is. So right off the bat, we'll go close guard, right? Come on up, close guard, boom. So right now he's got good posture. His weight is up, right? His knees are wide, so he's got good strong base. I really can't pull him down. So I have to break his posture first and bring him towards me to finish the scissor sweep. So right off the bat, I gotta control his hand, left hand on the sleeve, right hand on the collar. You can go same side or far side. For now, let's go far side. I'm gonna open my guard. Here's the biggest mistake. People try to move their hips out and scissor sweep from here. I can't quite do it because 1, my leg is behind me. I need to bring my knee in front of it. So from here, I'll push away a little bit, bring my knee to the inside, right? So now I have a good frame that goes across his chest, and my bottom leg is blocking his knee, right? So my goal is to sweep him to the one side that I control, which is his sleeve hand and his knee. If I don't control his sleeve and I sweep him, he'll base out, just like that, right? So I gotta take his hands away off the mat. So the next biggest component that I see in terms of beginners doing the scissor sweep is they try to scissor sweep from here. They go, coach, it doesn't work. Well, actually, I need to bring his weight up and onto me. I need to load him up onto my hip. So as I control, I pull him up here, so he's nice and loaded. So as you can see, his whole body weight's on my shin. From here, I chop his leg, scissor, and I push him over. Boom. And you come up on top, right to mat. Okay? So one more time, we go here, up on top, close guard. I see the opening. We're gonna shoot for that scissor sweep. So I control the sleeve, control the collar. Open, hip escape, right? Bring my knee across his chest. So not across the belly, right? This is actually not good because he can actually lace my legs and circle to the back. I want to keep this at 45 degrees across his chest. Control the sleeve, control the collar. Elevate. What's the next step?
Push him up.
Scissor.
Scissor, right? I scissor the bottom leg, kick him over, and land up on top. Just like that, to mat. Okay? So let's try that on 3. 1, 2, 3. Basic scissor sweep. Very first sweeps that we learned. But there's a lot of small details that either make or break the technique, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I float around and kind of fix a few of your techniques. So we got the little ones. So how about we pick someone who's a little bit older? Who's next? Who's got a question? Don't be shy.
Yes. What do you mean?
Sure, you had your hand up, kind of.
So I'm kind of stuck on is that you have the shoulders
Uh-huh.
and then you push into your side
Uh-huh.
and then you like trip them. So
Oh, so you're talking about the takedown, right? So that takedown is called osotogari, and it comes from judo. So I'm glad that you actually asked me to teach that. It's one of my favorite throws. So let me grab, who wants to go flying?
me.
I'll grab you. So that way you can watch and learn.
Hi, Dad.
So, okay.
I love you.
It's a memorable.
So it's the same grip. I have my collar grip, right? And he's got my sleeve grip, right? And then he's grabbing my collar, and I grab the sleeve here. So in terms of proper posture and where your legs are supposed to be, my right hand is in front, my right leg is in front. So you need to bring your right leg in front. There you go. So this is what we call typically a right on right stance. If we were both lefties, we'll switch. My left leg's in front, right? Here and here. So what we're going to do next is that we're going to learn how to do osotogari, which is a outside major leg read that's done in judo. So one of the most common mistakes is that I stand directly in front of my partner, and then it's awkward because one, his leg is far away. I can't reap it, right? It's far. So what I want to do next for this drill is I simply step to my outside. So if my left leg's on the outside, his leg's in the middle. What I need to do next is I need to break his posture, make him lean all his weight on that one leg. How do I do that? I got to use both my hands and momentum to steer his weight onto that leg. So it requires the sleeve grip and the lapel grip to simply turn here. So it's very subtle, you don't see it, but what I'm doing is I'm steering the boat and I'm making all his body weight go onto that leg. So lift that leg. He can't, it's very heavy, right? So as I step to the outside, I'm stepping forward and I'm leaning all that weight to that leg. My right leg here comes up, and if you notice, where's his head position now? It's past his foot, right? So if he's standing up and down, there's an invisible line that runs from the top of my head straight down to the ground. Anytime the body passes that midway point, you're off balance. Whether it is backwards, forwards, right, left, or to each of the corners. Back this way, back that way, back this way. He's off balance. My goal is to bring him off balance to his right side. So as I step, left hand comes down, right hand goes up. I bury all his weight there. So from here, my right leg winds up, right? I'm actually chopping his leg here. This doesn't work if I don't break his posture. If I just go here and hook, he'll push, push, finish, no drop, right? It's 50-50. If I don't break his posture, if we both just go here and here, it won't work. If I bring all his weight over his foot, pick up that foot, lift it, he can't. So now that he's committed 100% of his weight there, I'm gonna step forward, right leg comes up, I chop, I take him over. You okay? So this is a very basic throw in judo. It's the first throw that you learn, and it's one of the very last throws that you master, right? So for just drilling purposes, to the left, down, collar grip over that foot. He should feel the weight. If your partner doesn't feel all that weight on the foot and he can pick it up, pick up your foot, not enough kazushi, right? Or breaking of balance. Here, pick up your foot, doesn't pick it up, right? or it's really heavy. So I come up and I chop. So when the chopping motion, it's not a block and a push. It is, so relax. What I'm doing is that my leg comes up, I reap the leg, head comes down, foot goes through the air. All right? So 1, 2, do nice and slow. Chop. Person who's falling, be sure to tuck your chin. Be sure to slap to break fall, because the back of your head will hit the mat and you could get a concussion. So partners who are throwing, right when he hits the mat, pull him up a little bit. You okay? So from here, left leg steps to the outside towards him. So now there's 3 legs in between. Right leg comes up, sweep. So notice I pulled him up, his head is off the ground, he broke fall properly. Round of applause for him. All right. Yes, question?
Sorry, I was just gonna ask, would you recommend this for someone who's like short like me against, you know?
Someone who's bigger?
Yeah.
I get thrown with this with little guys all the time. Here's a trick. So, you know how we did that footwork earlier? This is kind of far, right? Where's his leg now? It's right there. I haven't moved. So I step, I circle, bang, throw, right? Same thing. Leg's too far away, I can't reach it. Step and pull. Where's his leg? It's there. Or he's fighting me, right? I push into him. Same thing. The footwork that we did earlier, forwards, backwards, and circling, all allow you to have access to the leg. Same throw. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Partner up. You're welcome. Any teenagers here? I mean, 10 and 11 and above. Don't be shy.
Mason.
Here's a perfect chance to get your questions answered immediately. Sure?
You're a man.
17. Still counts.
He's at least 30.
So there's a lot of time where I'm in guard and either I'm going for a triangle, semi-approximate triangle, or I go for the armbar and I get it. And they just stack pass onto me really easily and crush me, so I just have to release it. And I was wondering.
On your triangle, right?
And on the armbar too when I'm going for it. Just stack pass just kills me.
Got it. Okay, so that means if you're getting it, you're 95% there. It's just a matter of off balancing them and finishing them. So can I borrow someone who's big and strong and heavy?
Alan.
Me?
Alan?
Isaac's big. Okay. I'm sorry, Alan. Is that you got big and strong?
You're big in my eyes. He's got a big personality. We all love him. That's cool.
How many years later, like one
is
is
it
called
more
one.
triangles? Well, actually, we can do triangle armbar. It's the same thing, right? Same setup. So let's say, for instance, I got him here closed guard and I shot my triangle, right? Boom. Lock it up. And so from here, it's kind of sloppy. I clean it up, right? So we're here and here, I'm perpendicular, and he starts to stack me, right? He brings his head here, he starts to shrug, uncomfortable, and he squashes me, right? Now the reason why you're getting stacked is, one, you're shooting your triangle and you're staying in front of him. So as I shoot my triangle, this is another common mistake. I get the triangle here, right? I don't want to be in front of him. From here, he can still get his hips in, head up, right? And now posture up. So you either stack here from here and he'll turn, or he'll start to cut the corner and pass. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that I am perpendicular to him when I lock up the triangle. So once I shoot this triangle in and I adjust, hand on the ankle, foot on the hip, I want to rotate so that my right hand here shoots underneath his armpit. So I'm perpendicular now, and I shoot. So from here, 1, he can't drive into me anymore. 2, I need to tip my knees a little bit to the ground here, so drive into me. He really can't. So I have an arm bar, I can finish the triangle, but he can't stack. If I stay in front of him, stack, pull, smash, I get squashed. He can't do that if I'm perpendicular with him. So how do I get there? As I'm cleaning up the triangle, I pivot. So here's a common mistake. People pivot and then they move their hip out. This opens up the triangle. You see that? I want to keep the triangle here and here, and I'm actually swiveling underneath him here, the scoop, right? Left leg goes over the top, I'm no longer in front of him. Now if I feel him start to stack, I'll redirect my knees to the ground. So he's off balance. Every time he moves, he flops over. So here I can squeeze, I can finish, I got the reverse arm bar, or I clear the head here and here, and I got a straight arm bar. Same principles, stack, he can't. But if I try to arm bar from the front, here and here, and I swing the leg over, stack, I'll get my neck busted. So arm bar from closed guard, it's the same position. Right, so 1, 2, swing, bang, I'm here. So in order for you to get perpendicular, as you clear the leg over the top, use your right hand, scoop his thigh. So stack. He's off balance and I can finish him. So it's the same as your flower sweep, right? From the position we learned here and here, it's the same motion. Finish.
Come on.
Alright,
It's
guys.
kind of subtle, right? You feel it? Oh yeah.
Now we know the secret to beat Isaac.
All right, so triangle, and the trick is just tipping my knees to the ground and being perpendicular to him, right? And finishing. So let's practice that on 3. 1, 2, 3. 13. Do we have an early 20-year-old here? Someone in the early 20s? 26. Let's go. Ask away.
I have done some competition getting straight ankle lock.
Okay, so you're getting your ankle locked? Got it, okay. So in terms of defending the ankle lock itself, the more we're afraid of getting our legs attacked, the easier it is for them to cinch it in and lock it up. Actually, with any technique that we do here, whether it is an arm lock, a shoulder lock, a takedown, a throw, or in this case leg locks, is that we have to allow almost a dozen different steps to occur before they cinch it in. So I'll explain it to you. So go ahead and come in. We'll go in for a straight ankle lock. Is it from, are they getting it from like here, they open your guard and then they sit back?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. So one, watch what happens now. Is it off of a takedown or just during scrambling?
When I have them in my guard.
In your closed guard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so closed guard. If you keep your guard closed, I never have access to your ankles. Because where are your ankles?
Back there.
I can't lock them, right? They're behind me. So what this means is that one, you allowed them to control your arms. You allowed them the posture. You allowed them to get their knee in the middle. You allowed them to open your guard. You allowed them to come up. You allowed them to isolate this leg. You allowed them to pinch it.
Exactly.
And then they headlocked your leg, right?
Yes, sir.
You allowed them to lean back, come to the side, head down, they pinched and they arched,
Yep.
and they finished.
Yes, sir.
Feels familiar?
Yes, sir.
So with all those steps, if you interrupt just one, it never happens. So inside your closed guard, right? Here and here. If you simply brought your knees to your chest and keep my head down, I can't open your guard. You see that?
Yes, sir.
And then you can work on your sweeps and your chokes and stuff like that. Now, from here, if he has a strong posture here, right, and you have problems pulling him down, it simply means that you're allowing him to keep his arms stiff. So from here, pull my elbows open, pull your knees down, and I'm broken down again. I can't come up.
Yes, sir.
At this point, let's say I'm able to keep all this weight, I'm able to posture, and I got my knee in, and I'm able to open your legs here, right?
Yeah.
In order for me to attack the leg, I have to reach way back and grab your ankle. If this is here and here, reach up, grab my collar, pull me in, relock your legs. I have to restart again.
Yeah.
So the minute in jiu-jitsu, the higher in skill that you acquire doing jiu-jitsu, you realize that it's only making one small mistake causes an avalanche of headaches to address. It's better to practice your basic techniques and basic sequences so that you prevent all this other stuff from happening. But to answer your question, how to defend a straight ankle lock, it's actually pretty simple. So slap on a straight ankle lock. So what he's doing now is that he's actually isolating my ankle here and here, right? We'll roll this up, show a little bit of skin. He's grabbing my ankle here, right? Nice and low. So if I get this done properly, I simply roll my wrist up and it's already tight, right? And it doesn't feel good. So what he's doing is using his whole body to hyperextend my little tiny baby ankle here and essentially separate my foot from the lower half of my leg. How do I defend this? One, I cannot allow him to bring his hands together. So if he starts to isolate, so I'll tuck this here, foot on my hip, right? He falls to the side, right? Block the ankle in tight, pull it up, that's really tight. Lean back, arch, and finish. Here, I'm 99% done. What do I need to do to prevent this, right?
Unlock the arm.
I need to reverse engineer everything he did. So let's rotate around this way so everyone can see. Gentlemen, can you rotate to your left? So he isolated my hip, he pinches. He falls to the side. Now from here, I'm almost 100% done. If he extends away, he finishes my ankle. So what I need to do is prevent him from opening up. How do I do that? I grab his lapel, pull him in. So arch back, lock the ankle, nothing happens. Now my left hand here, I simply put it on his foot, I come up, and I sit on it. Finish the ankle lock. Nothing happens, right? So now I come up, I pull myself up. Finish the ankle lock. Nothing happens, right? I clear it. I mount. I get on top. So the drill is pretty easy. Even before he has everything to cinch up, is I keep him stretching out. Right away. I don't allow him to fall to the side. So fall aside, pull away, finish. He can't finish, right? So come up, foot off my hip. So simply grab his toes, slide it off, and I sit on it. Now the reason why I sit on it is so he can no longer isolate the leg.
Is that legal competition?
Yes, it is. It's illegal for him to cross it. I think it's from the inside, this is legal. But if he crosses it over this side and laces it over here, it becomes a heel hook, and that's not allowed.
Isn't it reaping?
Yeah.
It's considered reaping. Yeah.
What's reaping?
Reaping means that you're bringing the leg over his knee line and causing the knee to bend where it doesn't normally bend. It bends up and down like this, right? And it doesn't bend like this. So he isolates, foot on the hip, right? He needs to get all the stuff to be correct to finish. Take away his posture first. Yeah, pull him in. Hand on the foot, slide it off, sit on the leg. Right? And if you want, you can bring the other leg through and mount. Yeah? So we'll switch. So I'll ankle lock you, and then you can do the same defense. The minute you feel him fall back, you know he's going to attack your ankle. Is it your right side or your left side? Right. Right side, right? Okay. So it's usually, let's go back this way so everyone can see. The reason why this ankle gets locked the most is because, quick show of hands, who's right-handed in this room? Exactly, right?
Not Rudy.
90% of people, which means everybody will pass to this side. If this leg is dangling, that's the first leg they're going to grab. So as I start to pass, they will start to wrap here. The minute you start to feel me reach back, grab my lapel, isolate, and don't let me straighten out. Feel that? Sit on it. Yep. Mount. Good job. That's pretty much it. One more time. So we're passing guard, right? I took you down. Oh, sweet, ankle lock time. Hop over, come up, mount. That's it. All right, nice job. So let's practice that. You'll have your partner on the bottom, right? His legs are here because you're taught to keep them away, right? Push it away, no control. Isolate it, one leg in the middle. Sit back, he comes up, push, hop. His leg through, mount. That's it. On three, 1, 2, 3. Now these principles are 30 and above, so Wes's hand went up quick.
Of course, Wes's hand went up.
Ouch! I struggle with so many things.
Question.
You both.
I struggle the most with getting out of guard from taller opponents.
Okay.
They're able to lock up so much easier on me.
Opening the guard?
Yeah, opening guard against taller opponents.
I have an issue with having a weak dominant position in side control.
Weak dominant.
I'll be on top in side control, and
Can't hold it?
yeah, I can't fully lock it in. They've either pushed me away to where I can't fully recover and get in, or if I do get into a position, somehow I still don't have my weight right and I get tipped off.
Perfect. Okay, we can combine both. This will be a great exercise for both partners. So me grab somebody who's long and lanky.
Nick.
Nick.
There we go.
Sam?
His toes are as long as my arm. Have you seen him? He's a Ronald McDonald from Fresno.
Nick's got 40.
All right, so he's gonna go close guard on me. So the first things first is that one, the main theme of today is we talked about really good posture, right? So if my head is past my hips, that means my posture has already been broken. So I gotta make sure that my back is straight and my hips are underneath my noggin. Because if I don't have my hips underneath my head, it means my head's floating off into space. And it's easy for him to slightly tug and I go flying. So grab and pull, I'm off balance. So I gotta make sure that my hips are in, right? And I can't allow him to grab my upper body. I have to control his hands or his wrists to keep him away, right? So the minute I'm in close guard, that means I already made a couple of mistakes where I allowed him to wrap his legs around my waist, lock it up, pull me down and keep me here. And this is a pain. So right off the bat, I gotta make sure that I clear all the things that are keeping my posture coming forward, right? So these, typically, are they pulling on your lapel? Are they grabbing your head? What are they doing?
Just in general, it's hard for me to break the ankles.
Oh, okay, separate the ankles, but you can at least keep the hands away, right?
Yeah.
Perfect, okay. So here's a little detail. Let's go with a side profile. Right now, my 80% of my torso is hanging over the top. This is terrible. So I gotta check his hands, build myself up. I have to keep my head up. So right now my head is still slightly past my hips. You guys see that? So what I need to do is I need to, one, rotate my pelvis so it comes forward. So now where's my weight?
Behind.
Behind, right? And where's my head now?
Behind.
It's above my hips, right? So now, in order for you to pull me down, you actually have to use effort, right? So come up, pull. I don't have to do very much. All right? So he already had to separate his legs, and I didn't do very much. So from here, I'll simply check his, as he's grabbing and pulling, just checking his hips, and I'm backing myself out the door. I haven't done very much. I just had proper posture. So now, how do I do this and work on the mechanics? So without him being here, most of us are hanging out in guard like this, right? I don't walk around outside like this, right? I have to walk erect and upright. So we're kind of evolved now, right? So what I'm doing from here is I'm building myself up. He's got closed guard. Is I'm checking his arms right off the bat. I have to check the arms. So from here, start to build myself up, right? And from here, what I'm doing is that I'm leaning back so that one, my pelvis can rotate forward. So from here, you can't see it, but I'm rotating my pelvis up. You see that? So I'm kind of hanging back now. And if he sits up, sit up. It's really awkward, and I'm not doing very much. So once I'm in this position, right, I'm gonna come up to my toes, and I'm still hanging out. So sit up, reach, grab, pull. Not much happens. And I simply push down. That's it. I'm out. So without him being here, what am I doing? Build myself up, right here and here. I got to my toes, my pelvis here, right? I'm not bent over. I'm rotating my pelvis up. This is kind of not a natural position to be in, but all my balance is here. I can keep him away. All I'm doing is I'm pushing his leg away, and I back out. That's all I'm doing. So to practice the pelvic rotation, right, it's instead of being here, I'm here, and I'm rotating my pelvis forward. So I'm hanging out here. I'll get to my toes. I'll push the leg away, and I back out. So as I back out, where are you, sir? So it didn't look like I'm doing much from here. It's kind of boring, actually. But it makes a world of a difference for him. He doesn't like this. Bang. I passed, I'm out. So to answer your question, in terms of let's have everyone rotate this way. Side control theory. We talked earlier about when we were standing, and we did Osotogari, right? I tipped everybody over to the left, and I threw it because I off-balanced my partner. The same principles apply when I'm trying to keep control of my partner from side control. So what happens here is that we think of side control as that I'm trying to smash him straight down. And I can control him that way. When in reality, that's not the case. What I need to do is that I need to get my chest here, or actually my center line of my chest, to not push him straight here. Because if I'm here and I'm right over his center line, it's easy for him to tip me over. Tip me over, I go flying, right? Watch what happens when I keep my chest beneath that center line. Tip me over. I'm not doing much. But the minute I pass that center line, he tips me over, right? So what do I need to do? When I want to control my partner in side control, two things. I need to control his head, control his hip. So if I'm here and I pass his legs, I got to side control, I can just sag my hips back. Make sure I reach underneath his head, grab, pull, block his hip. So hip escape, roll me. I'm not doing much. I'm making him do all the work. But the minute I'm here, I'm up and over. So let's do a basic drill. So we'll go from here, close guard, pop open, right? So actually you can do it here. I will close guard. Nick doesn't let me grab him. He backs out, rotates his pelvis towards me. So lean your hips back. There you go. So now I can't pull him. So both hands on one thigh, and press forward, pass. Immediately grab my head, grab my hips, sag your chest back a little further, right about here, right? If it's here, Yeah, you're up and over. You're going fine. So struggle a little bit. Doesn't work. Stop, reset, he's on the bottom. We go back and forth so you get to work on both items, right? So this is something for both of these actions you need to get a lot of reps in and feel for it. All right? So on 3. 1, 2, 3.
So much passion.
To get to meet everybody. So about half the team are kind of met online. You guys got me on Instagram, follow my public videos and stuff. I don't post a lot of jiu-jitsu stuff because I kind of do it almost every day. So it's a real pleasure for me to be here to share some of my knowledge. So a lot of things I showed you guys wasn't overly complicated, correct? It's things that you can implement right away, correct? Yeah? So nothing fancy, nothing really technical. It's just doing the techniques properly at the right place, at the right time, and applying the correct pressure. So things that we taught today, you're able to apply immediately tomorrow on the mat. And the cool thing is that hopefully from this seminar, you're able to retain 1 or 2 techniques. And that was the case. The time that was here was well spent, right? And then also I have another announcement today is that I actually have a belt promotion. Today we are promoting Sensei Rudy. So with the brown belt in jiu-jitsu, right, is an advanced belt. It means that you've dedicated a long time to earn the required skill sets to earn the belt. Now, the belts themselves mean absolutely nothing. If I want to go to Amazon today after class and order one, I can get as many black belts as I want. Leather, polyester, cotton, right? It's got stripes on it. It's got LED lights that light up. The belt itself is a symbol of your own personal journey in jiu-jitsu, right? It doesn't mean that, oh, he's a brown belt, he can tap everyone else underneath him. That's not the case. I myself have been training for about 25 years, and when I go show up to any gym, at any mat, anywhere in the world, it's never easy. It's always extremely difficult. It's very humbling. You get beat up, you get tapped, right? If you're getting tapped, it means you're learning, right? So Rudy's been with me now how many years?
2016, so that'd be
8 years.
8 years. So Rudy came in as a purple belt, as a blue belt, trained for a few years, earned his purple belt, and trained another few years, and finally earned his brown belt. Not once did Rudy ever ask, hey coach, when am I getting promoted next? He was never worried about the next belt. He was worried about getting better. He was worried about polishing his basic techniques. He was constantly asking questions. He went outside his comfort zone to better himself. He went out and competed. He has done an absolutely amazing job with you guys as students. It's so cool for me, and I get goosebumps every time I talk about this, to see competition footage of you. When I'm here rolling with you, I can see what I taught Rudy go through him and be passed on to you. And that's what jiu-jitsu is really all about. It's not about beating people up. It is about setting goals, about being a better version of yourself, right? It's not about tapping everybody and being untappable. It's about being a better person and giving back. That by far is worth a lot more than all the gold medals in the world, right? You can be a Pan Am champion, you can be an ACDC champion. But if you don't have the ability to teach and pass it on to somebody else and explain it so that they can understand, that means absolutely nothing. There's a difference between an athlete, a competitor, and a teacher. To have all three in one is really, really difficult. Rudy is a fantastic instructor. When I first came in and I met Rudy and I watched him teach a kids class, I was like, oh man, he's amazing. If I had kids, I would take him here. He does a fantastic job with the kids, and he makes the adult class just as fun. And a lot of his higher belts I got to train with. You guys have come down to visit us in either Lancaster or down in Santa Fe Springs. To watch you guys develop and have that burning desire to learn is so cool, right? And I truly enjoy being around Rudy, his students, his family. It's a fantastic environment. If I lived here, I would train here constantly, all the time. So you guys are really, really lucky to have Rudy as your sensei, as your instructor. So keep up the good work. I'm very proud of all of you, and I'm especially proud of Rudy because it's only a couple of steps away before he earns his black belt. And the funny thing was, the black belt itself, I think I earned my black belt in like 2012. I'm still working on perfecting the basics, right? And so it's not so much about the belt itself, but it's about the journey, the relationships, and the hardships. You're gonna fall, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna roll up to the gym and go, you know what? I deserve a cheeseburger. I can see Rudy later, right? And you roll away. The hardest part is showing up and stepping on the mat. Everything else is easy because you have a team here that helps support you. None of us can get better without each other, right? So it's not about each individual person. It's about the group as a whole. And I'm very blessed and fortunate to help support you guys in your journey in jiu-jitsu. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask Rudy. And if I'm here visiting, feel free to ask me. Or feel free to ask the other higher belts. They have lots of experience and they're willing to give their time and energy. Other than that, congratulations, Rudy. Woo!
I don't know, I think during the process of getting to a higher rank in jiu-jitsu, I think we're all going to have a deeper belt. For me, this was very deep, and did so many things, went to so many places. Felt like I was a winner, like I was a loser, with you guys as well. My whole goal, ever since you started, was telling you guys that if you get better, I'm going to get better. And you guys have pushed me so much. Like, this belt is a huge reflection of you guys. You guys are my partners every week, all of you. And you guys have helped me grow so much. But I'm so humbled to be just with you, training, learning, asking questions, growing, finding answers. I'm so blessed to do what I love. So blessed to train around the world. I mean, I've been with the Mexico training camp. I thought I was going to beat up, but it was fun. It was amazing. You get to train other places and just finding out where you stand and realizing how much you have left to grow, no matter where you are. It's pretty damn amazing. So thank you guys. Huge reflection of you. Thank you for helping me get to where I am. And thanks for not letting, I won't be by my side, my family, Wendy. And again, I'm just so happy that together as a team, we've gotten together this far. So thank you guys.
Good job.
All right, it is up to the Sensei Rudy to close up the class. How you like it?
Well, they all want to roll with you, Professor. And so Professor is done. We can leave if he has to go. He can definitely go. But I'll be here a little bit longer, guys. Of course, you guys know this means we get to break a new belt. So I'm open mat with you guys as well today. So I appreciate you guys coming. It was exciting to have him here. And again, thank you guys. And we'll roll and have a great remaining fight.
All right, guys, if you guys don't mind, one last group picture. The offhand of the new belt.